Hi there, my name's Starlene. I'm a clinical aromatherapist, and in this video I just want to do a very quick talk about 3 different ways that essential oils can affect the drugs that you take. So the first way is when the essential oil enhances the drug. So let's see about high blood pressure. You take high blood pressure medication, and you decide that you want to put some ylang-ylang into your bath. What can happen is that ylang-ylang is theorized to lower blood pressure. So you are already on a drug that's lowering your blood pressure, and then you are enhancing that to even maybe potentially a dangerous amount to where your blood pressure is too low. The second way is almost the exact opposite of that, where the essential oils cancel out the medication. So again, let's look at high blood pressure medication. You are on that for your blood pressure, and let's say you are studying for something, or you have to focus or remember something, and you decide that you want to use some rosemary essential oil because rosemary is good for that kind of thing. It has been shown in some studies to enhance memory and improve concentration. But rosemary is also theorized to raise blood pressure. So you're taking a drug to lower your blood pressure, and the rosemary can potentially counter that. So you aren't doing anything for your blood pressure going down. It's hovering as though you didn't take the medication at all. So the third way that essential oils can affect drugs is through liver enzymes. According to the infallible Google, the definition of an enzyme is the substance produced by a living organism which acts as a catalyst to bring about a specific biochemical reaction. So, for example, your blood cells create an enzyme called G6PT, and that protects them from deteriorating. There is peppermint essential oil that if you have an inherited gene to have damage G6PT, enzymes, peppermint essential oil, and fava beans, amongst other things, can actually cause your blood to stop producing G6PT or produce a broken copy of it. So that is one way that essential oils can affect enzymes, but I'm not talking about that. I already did a video on that because that's an inherited issue. I'm not talking about inheritance. I'm talking about liver enzymes that, unless you have issues with your liver, and I'm no expert on that, your liver produces these enzymes. And what they do is they metabolize toxins in your body so that you don't poison yourself. If we didn't have our skin, kidneys, or liver, we would be dead. Our liver detoxes our body and protects us from a lot of things. But if the enzymes aren't there to be doing this, it can affect your medications and your health, and you could be poisoned almost, in a way of speaking, because your liver is not metabolizing these toxins. And mind you, to our bodies without a liver, everything's a toxin. So there's a few enzymes that we know of, and there's a few essential oils that we know of that do this. Mind you, liver enzymes are not fully understood by science, so we don't know if there's more that can be affected but in this way, but also there's not a lot of essential oils that are actually been very fully studied. Most essential oils have not been studied. And the ones that we do have studies on, some of them have only been looked at for specific things, so we don't even have the full picture of what they can do to us, which is why you should not just go around eating essential oils willy-nilly. Well, there's many reasons, but this is one of them, that we don't necessarily know all the different chemicals that make up that essential oil. And there are some out there, and some essential oils that can kill you. They're toxic, they're carcinogenic, they can affect your hormone productions. Like, this is not a cup of tea here. And people do tend to treat essential oils as though it's a box of celestial seasoning tea bags, and they're not like that at all. So the enzymes that can be affected that we know about are CYP1A2, 1B1, 2B6, 2C9, 2D6, 2E1, and 3A4. 2B6 and 2D6 are the enzymes that seem to be affected the most by the essential oils. Now, some essential oils and the information that we have seem to only affect enzymes through oral intake, while others are affected through any method, and that goes for topical or inhalation. Now, in my belief, with how I look at essential oil safety, that if something isn't safe to be ingested in a way like this that can affect your body, you should be very cautious about applying it to your skin. So, for example, if there was a essential oil that affected my birth control, if I ate it, I'm not about to go and bathe in that oil either, because we do absorb things through our skin. So even though the tests that we know about say, oh, this is affected through oral ingestion, I'm going to also assume topical. Assuming inhalation is a bit of a stretch, although some enzymes can be affected through that. I will say that if it says it's oral, I'm going to also go in topical application, because like these drugs, you don't want to be messing with them. These are very hardcore drugs, some of them. Some of them are everyday things like caffeine, whereas others are things like immunosuppressants, serotonin receptor agents, antipsychotics, anticoagulants, chemotherapy drugs, and diuretics, along with diabetic medications too. And that's just the short list. So if you're on immunosuppressants, I wouldn't be applying the essential oils that can affect those onto my skin, even if studies show it's through oral ingestion. Just saying. So I had a bit of an issue trying to figure out the best way to present the following information. There are not a lot of essential oils that do this that we know of. Okay, so I'm going to start off looking at essential oils that affect only CYP2D6. So there's balsam poplar, which is Populus balsamifera, chase tree, Vitex angus castus, blue cypress, Calitris introtropica, Arabian or sambac jasmine, which is Jasminum sambac. Then we have Western Australia sandalwood, which is Santalum spicatum. So then the most common is the CYP2B6 enzyme. So horsemint, also called bergamot, wild bergamot, or bee balm, Mentha longifolia. Then we have a world of citronella. So Symboponga nardus, which is Ceylon citronella, Syngopongo wintianus, also called Javanese citronella, Jamrosa or caive, which is Symbopongon jawarancusa. Then there's East Indian lemongrass, which is Syngopongon flexuosus. The West Indian lemongrass, Symbopongon citriatus. Then there is palmarosa, which is Syngopongon martini. And I think that's it for various types of the lemongrass. There's lemon thyme, so Thymus citriodorus, thyme geraniol chemotype. So this is a type of thyme. It's a Thymus vulgaris, so common thyme that's high in geraniol content, so which is averaging 24.9%. You can compare that to white thyme at 0.8%. So it's only this one specific type of thyme that we know of, at least, that is affecting this. After that, there is lemon tea tree, Leptospirorum petersoni. There is lemon myrtle, which is Bacchosia citriodora, honey myrtle, which is Melaleuca terretifolia, melissa, also called lemon balm, which is Melissa officinalis. Then there is Australian lemon balm, also called lemon-scented ironbark, which is Eucalyptus staigeriana. Then there is fingerroot, or sometimes called Chinese ginger, which is Boesenbigora rotunda. And then, so that's it for that. The only other one that is affected by a single enzyme is hoe wood, which is Cinnamomum camphora. After that, we are on to ones that affect money. So let's start with yarrow. This is yarrow chamazoline chemotype. So again, this is a very specific oil. It is at the 19.7% chamazoline versus, for example, blue yarrow, which has that same compound at 0.14%. So again, yarrow chamazoline chemotype. It affects CYP2D6, CYP3A4, and CYP1A2. Okay, so then the next one that affects many is blue tansy, Tanacetum annum, CYP2D6, CYP3A4, and CYP1A2. Then there's great mugwort, Artemisia arborensis, I'm probably not saying that right, CYP2D6, CYP3A4, and CYP1A2. Then the next one, the last one actually, this is the one essential oil that when I started studying them, I was actually shocked by. And it's blue German chamomile, Marticaria chemimolia. It affects CYP2D6, CYP3A4, CYP2C9, and CYP1A2. That to me is shocking because chamomile is so gentle. I recommend Roman chamomile to even be safe to use in very small amounts on babies. It's very safe. It has nothing like this as compared to the German chamomile, which to me isn't a loss because I can't stand the way that German chamomile smells. It's one of my least favorite essential oils, where Roman chamomile is actually one of my favorites. So those are the enzymes and the essential oils that can be affected. I'm not going to go into too much more detail because I wanted this to just be a very quick, basic jumping off point, because I'm going to be looking into enzymes now and very specific drugs. So the next video that hopefully will come out this week, it's Christmas week, so who knows, is going to be about antidepressants and essential oils that can affect them. So you can look forward to that. If you have any questions that you're freely okay with being talked about, you can leave them in the comments. If you have more private questions, I'm going to have my email address in the description. And if you have any aromatherapy products that you've seen that you'd like me to review, please leave a comment of what they are, because I love taking apart commercial essential oil blended products or things that people say about them, because most of the time they're not very good. I've already done 2 on 2 different Avon products, and one was actually really shocking because there wasn't any essential oils in it at all, even though they kept talking about them. So I thought that was interesting. So please do that. And again, for the love, again, I can't stress this enough, for the love of Peter Steele, do not eat essential oils.